I was told, what I was told is that he was a computer engineer and he had lots of school loan debt. And so he was open to an additional stream of income and started to build his business just as all of us seek to do. And he got to the point where his side hustle was earning the same amount as his full-time job, which is pretty impressive and really wonderful to have that extra income. Of course, it's so helpful for every single one of us. We love having enough, not we don't like having not enough. We don't like financial pressure. So Marcus knows what he's doing. He built a very successful business. And so let's take careful notes because he's going to talk to us about a skill that every one of us needs, very important skill. And so let's welcome our VP of Field Sales, Marcus Stenson.
Thanks, Bob. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. And I've been looking forward to getting more acquainted with your crew, Bob, for quite some time. And I expect this to just be sort of a quick introduction. We'll really get the chance to get to know each other here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to that too. Um, but this conversation really springs out of a conversation that I had with Bob several weeks ago, and we weren't even planning to have it. It just kind of came up in the course of conversation, and we ended up talking about prospecting. And it is the most important skill that you can have in this business. Everyone on this call is probably very aware that if you don't have people to talk to, you don't have business. And there are a couple of components to that, because even if you do have people to talk to, if you don't know how to talk to them in a way that helps them see beyond themselves, then you also don't have a business. So there are multiple components here that sort of can make it kind of touch and go, depending on whether you're just getting started. Developing the skill early can be really great, or if you've been around the game for a while and you just find yourself in a dry place and you're trying to figure out where do we go from here. I've found that this can sort of revolutionize your approach. And one of the most important things to me, and one of the reasons that I'm here at Neolife, is I found that it's important to nearly everybody that I've spoken with. So I'm going to assume it's important to you guys as well, is that the way that we interact with people, and the way that we treat people, and the way that we steward our relationships is the most important thing. The most important thing is not making the sale. Of course, we want to make the sale. Of course, we want people to get these products in their body. Of course, we want people to take advantage of the opportunity so that their lives will be better. But we want to be good stewards of every single relationship that we've been given. And so there is a right way and a wrong way to have people to talk to, and there's a right way and a wrong way to actually talk to them. So this is my philosophy for never running out of people to talk to. This is my philosophy for building a list and working off of that list. This is my philosophy for making sure that that list is always a living and breathing thing and never actually comes to an end. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit interactive. I hope you're taking notes or typing because I'm just going to kind of work through it. I want you to do as best you can. Um, Drop off all of the baggage leading up to this point. I want you to give yourself as much of a clean slate as possible as I'm working through this. And I want you to take an honest shot at working through this exercise with me over the next few minutes. I want you to pay attention to the psychology that's at play. And then after I'm finished, we're going to open it up for a little bit of Q&A, and we can dig into some more specific details or some more specific examples of how this might turn out. Ultimately, I believe that this philosophy and this approach will make sure that even the people that say no to you will be thankful that you treated them the way that you did. And that means that even if they say no now, they are going to be in a disposition or posture of watching you. And if you are who you say you are, they are going to see everyone who does say yes to you have high success and achieve goals. And there will absolutely come a day somewhere down the road where they will be tired of watching everyone else win by partnering with you, and they will come back around. I've experienced this numerous times. There was a person in my Facebook inbox just last week from 7 years ago asking me if I still train and coach people. And they told me no a long time ago. All they know is that everyone that they saw that worked with me had success, and they want some of that success. So I'm going to help you position yourself in the marketplace the way that I was thankfully able to position myself in the marketplace. Now, I will also say some of this might not be for you. There might be, parts that you really like. There might be parts that resonate. There might be parts that don't. You guys might be at different levels of veterancy here. I want you to take what makes sense to you, but I want you to give this the best shot to be a full paradigm and concept that you can integrate and use. It might give you the boost that you need. Okay, here we go. It's going to start really basic. Everybody probably has built a list before when you first started. You've probably periodically gone back, revised that list, recreated that list, curated and cultivated that list. You might have been thinking in your mind, I need to go back and finish the list that I started a long time ago and never actually worked through. You might be thinking, I wish I had more people for my list, but I don't know where they're coming from. Or you might have a list that you've just pre-decided for everybody that they're not interested, so you never actually worked it. I want you to go and try to wipe all of that clean. And here's how I would like you to think about your list today. I want you to divide it into three categories. And these three categories are going to help us figure out one, how we can best respect, honor, and dignify the relationships that we've been given. And two, how we can give the people on the list the best possible chance to see this the way that we saw it without getting caught up in the familiarity filter that they have with us. Okay? Um, it's not always necessarily that we don't have the right words or we're not qualified. It's just that sometimes there are filters that people hear things through, and that can make it difficult. So, our best shot at genuinely helping them is going to be helping them get around those filters. Here's the first category for the first section of the list. I call this the round table. So I would title it the round table. And for those of you who are men, envision yourself as King Arthur. If you see a cat tail, please disregard. I can't stop him. He has a mind of his own. He just wants to say hi to you guys. And I'll be moving him periodically. Thanks, Pippin. Um, but envision yourself as King Arthur, uh, who sits at the round table. And if you're a lady on this call, you're Guinevere and you have usurped the throne, so now you're in charge of Camelot, okay? The people that are on this first list are your knights. They are the people that have earned the right to sit at this table with you. I want you to, in every category, but especially this one, not prejudge anybody based on whether you think they would be interested in Neolife or not, whether you think they would be interested in Neolife products or not. I just want you to write their name down if they fit the categories that I give you. Okay? Just commit to me that you will do that. Leave nobody out. So on this round table list, what I want it to be is a list of people who are the people that are the closest to you, the people that you know and love and trust, and the people that trust you. The people that, if it came right down to it, and you got caught in a back alley in Atlanta while we're at the summit together, heaven forbid, and you had to fight your way out of a corner, this is a person that you want with you because you know they would fight for you. This is a person that would pick up the phone at 3 a.m. and come and help you stranded on the side of the road wherever you are. This is a person who knows all of the really great things that happen in your life, all of the highs, but they're also a person that knows the lows in your life too when you're really going through something. They're a person that you would obviously like to be in the trenches with. They're dependable. They have exhibited the qualities that give you a level of admiration for them. You have a respect for them. You have a love for them. These are people that, by nature of their character, yes, of course, you would love to be in business with this kind of person. These might be family members, they might be close friends. In that realm, there's a friend that you have, perhaps multiple, that you don't actually see each other all that often, but when you do see each other, you pick right back up where you left off. Just something magical and special about that relationship that you've cultivated over the years. These are the people that deserve to know that you are doing Neo Life and you are serious about it in your life. Whether they're interested in it or not, they are close enough to you that they deserve to know. And so I want you to write their names down. It's probably not a long list. The longest of these lists might be 5 to 10 people, but it might be 3 people that you trust this way. It might be 5 people that you trust this way. Um, but these are the folks that in the best possible circumstances, either A, you would love to have them lock in arms with you in this in some capacity, and they deserve to know that, or B, they're not interested in doing that, but they still support you, and you owe it to them to be honest with them about how important this is to you. The last thing you want is for somebody on this list to look at you 3, 4, 5 years from now and say, why didn't you ever tell me? I see you going on these trips. I see you doing all this stuff, and you never told me anything about it. Why didn't you tell me? It's the last thing you want for these people. And the last thing you want for these people is for you to treat them in such a way that you're just trying to get them on some product real quick so you can grow your business. That devalues and takes away the dignity of what they really mean to you in your life. This deserves a different conversation. Make sense? That's the first category. They are the knights of your round table. They are your ride or dies. Let's move on to the second category, and then we'll come back and revisit and talk a little bit about how to have that conversation. Second category is the easiest one. It's probably what most of your lists are made of by natural selection already. This is the list of people that we will just title health goals. There's something special when you join Neolife and you start this business that, as soon as you pull up to a gas station, you see someone come out with a giant soda, you're thinking that person really needs core three. And it seems like every person that you come across now, you automatically see a way that the products could help them. This is the easiest list for you to make because it's just so apparent to us on a daily basis. But I want to give you a couple more elements to consider that maybe you haven't thought of that'll make this list even bigger. Again, I don't want you to prejudge anybody. One of the themes of this type of psychology and this type of approach is that you do injury to somebody if you rob them of the dignity of making the choice for themselves. So be content with letting them decide whether they want something to do with Neolife or not. Do not leave anybody off the list. Do not decide for them ahead of time what they will or will not be interested in and what they do or do not need. So people go on this list who have an interest in health and wellness. They obviously take care of themselves. You put people on this list who obviously have health goals that they're trying to reach. It's summertime now, and folks are talking about vacation. Folks are mentioning in conversation casually and habitually that they would love to lose a little bit of weight before they go to the lake this summer or wherever they're headed, or they're mentioning that they don't feel comfortable in their own skin or in their own clothes right now. Folks every day are also talking about how tired they are. If you have family members, you have coworkers, you have friends, you have acquaintances who are always tired, or they always have an energy drink in their hand, or they always have a coffee in their hand. These are people that need to feel better on a daily basis. I just want you to write them down. I want you to also write down folks who clearly do take care of themselves and take an interest in their health and wellness. Folks that are trying to make healthier choices noticeably when you're out to lunch and out to eat. Folks who are trying to snack well with healthy snacks in the meantime between meals. Folks who are in the gym every day. They're going in at 5 a.m. to get cardio in. They're on the elliptical, the treadmill, the bike, whatever, or they're doing Pilates or yoga a couple of times a week, or they're just out walking in the neighborhood to try and make sure that they get exercise in. They're lifting weights. People that are investing in their bodies already, write them down. Okay. I want you to also write down the people. And this is where we start getting into the real skill of this. When I say that you'll never run out of people to talk to, it's because of this. If all you learn to do is become a keen observer and an astute listener, people will constantly tell you the problems that they're having in their life and the places where things are not okay. And if you recognize those places and you offer a solution to a problem that people already know they have, it will change the dynamic of how you do this business and how they receive you. All of the people that are going to be on your list are constantly inundated by people trying to sell them things, or bots trying to sell them things, or ads trying to sell them things. And if you approach them in a way that actually dignifies them as a human being that you care about, that someone is listening to, it will give them an experience that they're not used to getting anymore, that they're not expecting, and it'll change how they see you and what you do. So be a keen observer and an astute listener. I'm at work or I'm out and about hanging out with friends, whatever get together it is, we're at church, wherever you happen to be. And Miss Barbara mentions how tired she is that day. Now, conventional wisdom might tell you to just throw a stick of Elevate right in her face right then in the moment and say, drink this right now and let's sign you up as a member. That's really a poor way to build your business. But you know what would mean something to Miss Barbara? Is if you clocked what she said and you considered it and thought about it and remembered her when no one else is ever thinking about her. So the next time I come back to Miss Barbara, it might be a day later, it might be 2 days later. It depends on the nature of our relationship. If she's a person that we text regularly and we're in contact, I might text her the next day or give her a call. If it's someone that I see once a week, I might wait till I see her the next time. I'm going to come back to Miss Barbara and I'm going to say, hey, Miss Barbara, I know last time I saw you, you were super exhausted. I was just thinking about that the other day. It hasn't left me. Is it always like that for you, or were you just having a rough day? And then I'm going to be quiet. And the majority of people that are tired are chronically tired. They're tired all the time. You know what Miss Barbara's got to say? I wish I could tell you that it was just a rough day, but I'm tired today too. That's what she's probably going to say. And at that moment, here's what you're going to do. You're going to say, I kind of thought that might be the case. Look, I've been drinking this Elevate stuff for a couple of years now. All I know is if it works for you the way it works for me, you're going to have a much better day today. And I'm going to give her a sample right there. I'm going to take the Elevate, I'm going to put it in a bottle, I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to hand it to her without the lid on it. And I'm going to let her drink it as she goes about her day. There's a couple of reasons why I'm going to do that. Here's the first. Number one, everybody in Barbara's life has heard her say how tired she is, and nobody cares. Nobody cares because everyone's tired. Everybody say, "Oh, I hope you get some rest," but nobody cares. No one actually thinks about it later. Here's what you've done. You have shown Miss Barbara that you're a person that not only heard her, but you actually considered her and thought about her after the interaction. And not only did you hear her and dignify her as a human being, you thought about her. That means you care about her. And not only do you care about her, you brought her something that has helped you, and you're giving it to her to help her without any strings attached. Third, Miss Barbara has now told you twice that she's chronically tired. So you are not introducing something new that you have to convince her of. You don't have to sell her on anything. All you are doing is responding to something that she has already told you and probably told lots of other people. Now, that's a very different situation than the way most people get prospected. This is a very different interaction for somebody. At the very minimum, Barbara's going to come away feeling like, you know what? It's kind of nice that someone actually thought about me. Like, I don't really like the taste of this stuff, but I really appreciate them trying to help. That's the worst possible reaction that could happen. But the best possible reaction is, actually, man, this stuff does work. I get why he takes it every day. I need to figure out how I can get some more of it. And there you go. This is an interaction that was created by you being a keen observer, actually listening to people, hearing the problems that they're suffering with every day, and being willing to slow down and actually bring them some help. You're not selling anything to them at that point. You are sharing a solution for a problem they already know they have. You're not having to convince Miss Barbara that she's tired and needs help. Let me tell you why you should get on these products because they changed my life. No, Barbara, you're tired. And if this helps you the way that it has helped me, you're going to have a great day. You're going to feel awesome. Then let the products do the work. The best part about being in Neolife and building a business, you know these products work. So if you get the product in someone's body, they will do their job flat out, right? Now, Ms. Barbara might have a life circumstance or a situation. She might have an emotional hang up. She might have something going on in her life where she doesn't end up buying product from me, but she will remember how I treated her and how that felt. And when she's tired of feeling the way she feels, she will come back and say, hey, I got to get my hands on some of that stuff. That might be that week. That might be a month from now. That might be 6 months. That might be a year from now. It might be 7 years from now, which just happened to me last week, right? Okay. Does that make sense for you so far? I want you to write down everybody's name. everybody's name who comes to mind, who you know is tired, who you know wants to lose some weight, who you know has pain in their joints, who suffers with inflammation, who you know wants more mental clarity, more focus. I want you to write down everybody's name who's just struggling to get through every day and isn't thriving. I want you to write down everybody's name who is just not aware of how good their body is supposed to feel. And they might be on your list right now, and you might just be in a conversation at some point. There's something magical about writing a name down and being cognizant of it and thinking about it, that now they're going to say something and you're going to recognize it because you're actually listening, and you're going to have a real, genuine reason to help that person. And that's all you need. That's all you're looking for. Does that make sense? Okay, let's move to the third list. Third list. This one is the one that is the hardest for people. But I want to give you a little bit of a different perspective because I want you to see that it's just as prevalent and just as common as the second list. And this one is the list that I would title extra income. This will be the list of people that could genuinely benefit from having the extra income that Neolife provides people. Okay? Again, I want you to write down the names of everybody that you know that could benefit from having some extra cash. A little bit or a lot of it, it doesn't matter. And you're going to see as you start to think, I don't know what, I don't know why, but this list comes out a lot smaller all the time. Why? Because for whatever reason, it feels weird to us. For whatever reason, we get closed off, we get guarded about income. There are a couple of other reasons why. You might know what's possible here in Neolife, and you might not feel like you're accomplishing what's possible, and that might make you not as confident as you should be about sharing the opportunity with people. You might feel like you haven't done enough for them to think it's great enough for them to be interested. And I just want to tell you, this is the most important list for you not to prejudge. Because the people that end up making money in this business are only the people that recognize a good opportunity when they see it. And if you recognize this as a good opportunity, you should anticipate that most other people are going to recognize a good opportunity too. And that's irregardless of what you've actually made here. Second, if you're only making an extra couple $100 a month in Neolife, I want you to know that that's a big deal for most people who have no idea where to get a couple extra $100 a month. It's a huge deal. Extra $250 a month will pay off a car payment for somebody. And if it's paying off a car payment for somebody, that means they get to save money and take their kids on vacation for the first time ever. Or they get to knock off credit card debt that's just snowballing for them because now it's taken away something that was needed to be paid every single month, right? So even the smallest here that we get used to and we get desensitized to how awesome it is can be life changing for somebody out there who has nowhere to go. So please do me a favor. Do not prejudge this list. Genuinely think the people that are in your influence or circle of influence that you're exposed to and write their name down if an extra $500 a month would be beneficial for them. Period. There shouldn't be a lot of people that are on this list. You might have some people on the second and third list. Just depends on the opportunity that gets presented, right? Go ahead and start writing names down, and I'm going to give you some circumstances and some situations that we don't think about that will help you populate this list. I promise it's going to be way longer than you ever thought. I want you to write down people on this list who, yeah, come to the front of your mind because, you know, everyone could use an extra couple $100 and you know it would be good for them just because you know of what's going on in their life. But I also want you to write down the people who have said something to the effect that, man, I'm just in a really toxic work environment right now. I just hate being there. I'm depressed. I hate going to work, but I have to. I'm not doing a job that's even my passion. Like it pays the bills, but I just feel drained again and again every day that I go there. You don't recognize it, but that is a cry. That's a call for help. And the opportunity to earn income in neo life can get them into a different situation. I know this because I lived this. I walked into my cube one day and I was sitting under $125,000 of student loan debt, and I thought, I guess this is what I do every day. And there was something in me that was just like, I know that I'm made for more than punching keys and paying student loans until I punch out of this life. but I had no way to figure out how to do that. I felt trapped. I was going to be living in mom and dad's basement forever, but somebody shared an opportunity with me, right? From the outside, it looked like I had it all together. It's a prestigious job. It's in a booming field where I would always have a good job. I was being paid pretty well. And from the outside, oh yeah, Marcus has done everything right. He's got it made. I was miserable. You walk around people like that every day. Most men lead quiet lives of desperation. So if you're an astute listener and you're a keen observer and you hear these things, you will know that they're not where they need to be, ought to be, or could be. Man, I'm just working in a toxic work environment. I'm just disrespected constantly. My boss doesn't appreciate what I do. My coworkers are just filled with drama and like I can't even be around them. It just sucks the life out of me every day. That's one. I also would say if you know people that are in student loan debt like I was, Sally Mae's kicking someone's butt or whoever their lender is, I would write their name down, right? I want you to write down the names of the dads who would give anything to coach their sons in junior sports, but they can't because they have to work every waking hour just to keep their family provided for. Admirable, but not ideal. I want you to write down the names of the folks that got married quick, couldn't afford to go on a honeymoon. They've been promising themselves for 5, 10, 15, 20 years they're going to go do something together, and they've never been able to go. I want you to write down the parents that, man, if they could, they would love to travel with their kids and take them on vacation this summer. They just can't afford to do it. I want you to write down the names of the parents that wish they could put their kids in travel sports in the summer, but they can't afford to do that either because the fees are just ridiculous. Big business in kids' sports these days. I want you to write down the names of the people that have to take every overtime shift that's available to them. The people that are working two jobs, they've got a main job and then they're working as a waitress, moonlighting somewhere, second half of the day. I want you to write down the folks that are crippled by credit card debt. They're living a lifestyle that they can't support. Something has changed in the economy, something's changed in their situation, and now they no longer can afford the life that they once could, and it's killing them. I want you to write down all of the people that you know that don't feel like they're living their passion. They're not doing what they're put on this planet to do. They've been trying to figure out a way to scratch that itch or break into that, but it's just never worked. Maybe they're entrepreneurial in spirit. They've tried several little side things on the side and it just never works, right? They never have the support, something happens. What I want you to think about are the real life problems that people share with you every day that are not them saying to you directly, I need to make more income, but they are their own way of crying out saying, I don't have enough income. Is that making sense to you guys? Every time someone complains about their job environment, every time someone says, I wish I could go out to lunch with you, but we're trying to cut back. Every time someone says, I wish we could go with you guys to the concert or to the lake or to wherever, but we really can't afford that right now. Every time life doesn't happen because of a financial underpinning, that is a person that needs your help. And if you hear those for what they are, and if you see them for what they are, now it becomes not about trying to sell someone on a great opportunity just to make a little bit of extra money. It becomes helping them get what they truly want in life, what's truly important to them. I'm going to give you another example. We're going to let Miss Barbara off the hook because she's like right in the middle of my screen, so I had to use her last time. We're just going to say Bob this time because he's in the middle. Actually, Jamie and Carol are here in the middle for some reason. So, Jamie, I'm going to talk about you. Let's say Jamie. Jamie Wilson here. Jamie, we're going to say there was an instance where we were together at some social event or in some environment. Um, and I just heard you say in passing, man, I'd give anything to see my kid play this year. He's going to be a senior. He's worked so hard, but my work schedule is just not going to allow it. I wish I could be at more of these events, but you got to do what you got to do, man. I'm so proud of him. I want you to just hear that for what he's actually saying. I'm missing time, memories, and moments that I will never get back and I'll regret it forever. And my son is making memories and moments and formational periods of his life that he will never get back. And I want you to apply the same strategy that we applied with the very tired Miss Barbara. And I want you to imagine you come back to Jamie and you say, Jamie, last week I heard you say something that I haven't been able to forget. It just won't let go of me. So I just want to ask you, man, when you said last week you would do anything to see your son play next year, were you joking or were you serious? I'm going to be quiet. If he's any kind of father, he's going to say, why would I joke about something like that? He might even be a little offended. Like, what? Of course I'm serious. Like, why? If I thought it was possible, like I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, why would I joke about something like that? And I'm going to say, Jamie, I know that's because I know what kind of man you are. And I just want to let you know, man, I think we can get you there. I think we can get you there, Jamie. I don't know if what I do is for you or not, but I think if it is, it'll be something that'll get you the flexibility and freedom that you need to be there for your son. How do you think Jamie's going to hear that? Oh, hey, Mark is just pitching one of those businesses. He just, that text message or that Facebook message that comes in. Hey, girl, want to share a great opportunity with you. Think you might be awesome. Like that, it's not that. It's not that. It's a totally different world. Jamie, I heard your heart and I want you to have what your heart needs. I've got something that has helped me accomplish XYZ, and I know the kind of guy you are, and I know it could do the same thing for you. I'd love to share it with you if you're willing to take a look. Would you guys take a look if someone approached you that way? You bet you would, because that's real. That's not sales. That's real, right? If you just hear what people are actually saying and you bring them something that is a genuine hope, you have a far greater chance of them being willing to see what you see and ultimately to have what you have. Give an example of this that happened in my own business. There's a good friend of mine to this day. His name's Eric. Eric is awesome. His life is totally different today than when we first met. We met each other at a baby shower. Two dudes at a baby shower, like the least fun place for two guys to be. We're hanging out of this baby shower and we're out on the back deck. And at the time, Eric was, from my point of view, pretty successful. Like, great dude, was getting to know him a little bit. We're just hanging out, shooting the breeze, talking sports, whatever. And he just happens to mention that, like, he's got this job he drives for FedEx, which is a good job. But he's like, I feel like I'm wasting my life in this truck every day. I'm just on the road all the time. I want to be there for my daughter. I feel like I want to do something to like invest in kids and help like underprivileged youth. And I was like, dude, that's great, man. Like, I'm glad things are good for you, but that's probably something that you should think about. Like, you should lean into that a little bit and see if God's trying to tell you something. I didn't pitch him right there, but I called him 2 days later. I said, Eric, I haven't been able to stop thinking about the conversation that we had. And I think there's a way we can get you out of that truck. That's how I brought him the business opportunity. That kind of stuff happens all the time. And we got Eric out of the truck. We got him out of that truck. And now his life is totally different. He's got a beautiful family, three kids, raising them in middle America right now. Pretty cool. Actually, his wife is from the Pacific Northwest. She was from Seattle, and she met him at our version of Impact Summit. So we got him a wife and we got him out of the truck. Totally changed his life. I remember the day we came back from Impact Summit. And he texted me. He's like, "Bro, I think I found my wife." And I was like, "Man, I took you to build a business." And he was like, "No, I'm serious, man. I think I found my wife." And wouldn't you know it, 6 months later they were married, and now things are going great. Like you just never know what's in the cards and what will happen if you genuinely approach someone and give them hope to accomplish what their life is really meant to accomplish. If you apply that structure and that strategy. And that's how you deal with people and interact with people. Not everybody is going to say yes. A lot more people are going to take a look. Some of them won't even say yes then. But I promise you what will happen is they will appreciate the way that you've approached them, and you will never have to worry about the thing that we worry about here. And that's being weird and ruining relationships and making it awkward and mistreating people and having them run the other way whenever you reach out to them. You will never have to worry about that because you have done something totally different. And you'll feel good about this. You'll not have anxiety about reaching out to people because you're not trying to figure out how to get them to do what you want them to do. You have heard something that they actually need, and you're just here bringing them what they could do with it. That's it. It's a totally different situation, right? If you arm yourself this way and you set yourself this way in the marketplace, it'll present some immediate success for sure. That's what it's all about. If you're in massive action, you're talking to a lot of people, you'll have success, but it will also set you up to have long-term success over 6, 9, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years of treating people this way. You will become known as the person of influence in your world. That when someone needs better energy, when someone needs to get healthy, when someone needs to make a little extra income, hey, you can trust Barbara with that. I know exactly who I'm going to call. When I lose my job and got to find a way to make some extra income, I know exactly who to call. When the recession hits and I'm going to lose my house and I got to figure out what to do, I know exactly who to call. When the doctor tells me, hey, you got to get serious about your health, I know exactly who to call. Okay, so that's the strategy. That's the paradigm. That's the perspective. That's the mindset. If you make your list this way and you work your list this way, it'll change your business. I promise you that. So we're going to open up a couple minutes of Q&A here. Thank you guys for letting me rant at you guys for a little bit. I hope it didn't feel like that, but I genuinely know from practice and from coaching people in this way that this will bring you hope. It'll also bring the people that you work with hope. So let's open it up. If you have questions, I will be more than happy. I see you popping on, Jamie. Now, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I hope that was okay. But we brought you a great opportunity. So hopefully that felt good.
Dude, yeah, I got a whole page of notes too.
Love it. Love it. Glad you're doing good today, Jamie.
I have a question, and I love for the last one about not listening, keen observer and an astute listener.
Yes.
Um, I met a young lady last Saturday, and in an event, and she talked about her medical issues, three heart attacks and a stroke,
Ooh.
etc. Three strokes. And one, the doctor told her the last one was so bad he does not know how she's still walking, etc. So
Oh
I
my goodness.
listened there, and I got lost in it, and I just kept quiet for a while. And I'm wondering if I could have done something different. I did ask her how did she feel, and she said, and she's laughing about it. She kept laughing. So I know that laughter was not it's her way of coping that
Yeah.
was
Defense
going on.
mechanism.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I texted her the next day, just delighted that I got to meet her, and I told her how open she was, appreciated sharing, what's going on with her life, etc. Now I'm listening to you. I think I could have done a little bit more. What was missing in me to continue with her? Not the next day, but to say if I wanted, because I found out what I knew today, how should I follow up with her now?
Yeah, that's a tough one because her situation is so extreme. When you're dealing with someone that's in an extreme situation, medical situations, it can be really precarious. You don't want to step into the role of a physician or her
Right.
care team, right? But what's always good to do and to remember is to always ask more qualifying questions, right? So if she's laughing as a defense mechanism to sort of cover up and cope, there's some insecurity there, probably some fear there. Um, if you have a good rapport, good relationship, um, you might have asked, well, I mean, what are they doing now to help you out? Like, what's it look like now? Do you have like a regimen or a protocol that they've got you on to like help you recover, or what does that look like? And just ask some genuine questions to see what are you doing now about that situation. And she might say nothing. I'm just happy to be here. Or she might say, yeah, my doctors have got me doing this, this, and this. And that usually can give you an idea of whether this is beyond you and it's not wise to try and press into that given the situation, or if there's a genuine place where you can offer some benefit, right? She might say something like, well, my doctor told me I need to get on omegas and I'm figuring that out. And well, okay, yeah. Hey, have you found one that works? Well, there's just so many out there and I'm not sure. And now that becomes obvious where you can make a good suggestion, right? Um,
So I
so
didn't go into, yeah, so I tried to keep that diagnosis out of it. So I
yeah,
asked her a question and I asked her, how would life feels, how will life feel to you if you were healthy? What that kind of feeling you will have?
it's a good
Uh,
question.
and and she said, well, I just want to get my roof fixed today and I want it. So everything was, I think, is a lot of fear. So I just backed off and I said, just think about it and write down what you think, how would life feel like if you just had optimum health? Because I didn't want to go into that diagnosis stuff. I don't want to deal with that
Good.
because that's not my realm. But
No.
going forward now, I'm listening to you. I could just probably keep in contact with her and just ask her how is she doing, etc.
Yep.
And
She'll,
just keep
she'll
that.
tell she'll tell you when she's open to something,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And then just be ready to offer something genuinely. But I want everyone else to hear the question that you asked because that's always the first question that I ask anybody whenever I'm doing any type of consultation, free consultation or meeting with them. I always ask them, hey, what does success actually look like for you? Like I can't help somebody, win unless I know what the win is to them. And most
Mhm.
of the time, people haven't really thought about it. And when you get them to stop and think about it, that can be really good perspective for them. That can pave the road for actually taking some action. And so everybody should write that down. First question, like, what does success actually look like for you?
Mhm.
I often say to people, hey, let's just say theoretically you and I work together for the next 90 days. Let's just pretend, what would it look like if it went way better than you ever thought was possible? What would that actually look like? Like, what would that be? Would it be you lost a certain amount of weight, you could get in certain clothes, your numbers look better? Like, what would that look like? You'd have more energy. What would that actually be? And I make them define it, like be as specific as possible. Press that. And then I ask them one more thing. I say, hey, now I want you to actually think about what it would feel like for that to be true. Not just intellectually conceptualize what you think you want, but what would it feel like? That's always the first step to helping someone decide to make a decision for themselves. And we don't really have the time today, but that's a whole other training. I've got a 4 question progression that I walk every prospect through, and that 4 question progression will tell me if they're serious or not, and if it's a waste of my time or their time or not, or if it's someone that's ready to win, right? And so maybe Bob, we can set another one of these up, and we'll do that on the next day. Yeah, I'll put that out there. I'd be more than happy to do that.
Thank you. Got it.
Because Marcus, you're qualifying them, right, by those questions.
Yeah, I'm
Or vet, you're
qualifying.
vetting them.
I'm vetting them, and I'm also making them think seriously about what success would mean to them and how it is impacting them not to be achieving it. Because most people have never actually thought about it, right? They have very surface level goals that are attached to surface level feelings. My job is to help them get beneath the surface level so they can find out how important it actually is to them and the people that depend on them. And then we can decide. Then we can decide if it makes sense for us to work together, right? And I've found that people eventually like they appreciate that and they're usually surprised. There are times where I get to the end of those 4 questions and I'll tell them, "Hey, look, it sounds like life is really crazy for you right now. I totally get that. I just want you to know when you're serious about making these goals a reality, I'll be right here and ready to help you." And they're like, "Wait, what do you mean?" Like, no, I have. What do you mean? They're alarmed that I'm willing to just walk away because it's not good for me to have someone that's not actually going to do what I asked them to do, and it's not good for them either. I don't want them to spend the money and then tell people that my stuff doesn't work. I want them to win, and I know if they're ready, we will win together 100% of the time. So there is some qualification in that too. But there's also really helping people to discover what they actually want. Most people are scared. They need help getting to the level that moves just from what they think they want in their head to what their heart actually yearns for and what would make a really big difference in their life. And so um, I unpack that with everybody in our very first interaction. When we sit down to talk about it, we're going to get to the meat of the matter straight away. And so, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that for the next one. It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
You said something kind of interesting. You said how what would it look like? And then you said, how does not achieving this impact you? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah,
How-
yeah. Second, yeah, yeah. That's the second question. That's where it gets real interesting. Real interesting. Most people haven't thought about that either.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful. That's kind of confrontational, isn't it? Like,
A
you
little
got
bit.
these goals, but you're not achieving them. How does that impact you? Is
Yes.
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
And when you give the space for someone to actually sit in that moment and think about those, like with no pressure, then it takes on a different shape. Now we're having a totally different conversation,
Oh,
right?
totally,
And
totally.
it's really good for people. Like I know one of my jobs and one of all of our jobs is when someone trusts us enough to have a conversation, that they will be better, like their life will be better from having this conversation, whether they get on product with me or not. That's the goal. Every single person, right?
Okay,
So it doesn't benefit me and it doesn't benefit them to not have the real conversation with them that no one else has had and that they haven't been able to have with themselves yet, right? Or else they would already be succeeding. So that's always my goal. And it's confrontational might be a little bit too strong. It's certainly confrontational for their own internal, right? Because now they're going to have the cognitive dissonance of thinking about, well, actually, yeah, this is not good. It's really not good, right?
I
It's
got
worse than I thought. Like it's way more than I just want to, look good in a bathing suit at the beach. Like this is different. This is way bigger than I thought, right? And that's really good. So yeah.
Jamie, you got any questions for Marcus or comments on things he said?
Well, it was really good. I've got a full page of notes and I missed things, so I'm looking forward to going over the recording.
Right.
Sure.
But
Good,
yeah,
good.
very good. Thank you so much, Marcus, for being here with us.
Hey, you're welcome.
It's very some of the things because I'm old, I've heard a lot of this stuff before, but it's when we bring in the human element, that's something that we all need to be reminded of
All
because
the
we
time.
all
Yep.
kind of lose sight of uh, what people's needs are and working to meet those needs. I was
Yep.
actually this morning I was late getting on because I was in a conversation with a lady this morning telling me her financial woes, and I tried had a prayer with her and talked to her about some possibilities, but I did not bring up Neolife to her, and I surely should have.
Yeah.
It may well have fit, and I will in the future. Uh, I'll probably be seeing her in a couple of days, but
You're in a
we,
great position to do exactly what I talked about when you come back
yeah,
around and you say, "Hey, I really thank you for your honesty and how candid you were in our conversation the other day. And it hasn't left me alone because I know that this Neolife business that I have has blessed my family tremendously and given us options that we wouldn't otherwise have. And it just couldn't escape me that it could be part of the solution for you too. It may or may
exactly.
not be something that works out for you, but I know if it works for you the way it's works for us, it'll change things. And so I'd love to share that with you if you're open to something like that. That's perfect way, right? Perfect way.
Yeah,
So oftentimes there's something about coming back around a second time and not having tried to just throw it on them or rush it out, that's really genuine and actually really helps people to be able to receive it. There's something about being in that very first conversation and interaction where they're sharing something off their heart that isn't good, and you immediately pitch something that feels disingenuous to people. Like you all have been in that situation before where you were just confiding in someone and now they're trying to like get you to do something. Like that's not what this was about. You know what I mean? So I don't want anyone to feel like, hey, if you're doing this thing where you're just being a listener and an observer, oh man, I missed my opportunity because I didn't say anything. Well, look, there may be some instances where it's appropriate to share something right there on the spot. That happens. But oftentimes, it's you caring enough about them to give it space to breathe and then coming back and reminding them of what they said and how that made you feel and how they felt, and then bringing them a genuine solution for that in a conversation that isn't being steered out of context or hijacked by the opportunity, but that is totally focused on, I'm bringing you something to address this problem and this hurt that I heard, right? So I
Yeah.
think you're in a great position with that, Jamie. And a good one.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yeah, I really appreciated everything you shared this morning. It was very good.
I'm glad to hear that. I hope it blesses you guys.
Yeah.
It did. It did. Anybody else? Deb or Mary or Leslie? Barbara,
Leslie's up
and
here in the chat. She's giving us some feedback there. We see you,
oh, okay.
Leslie. Thank you. I'm glad that you found some value here. I don't know. Hopefully Deborah's been having a good time because she's been up here in the box too, and I've just been watching her facial expressions, and she's just looking at me like, this guy, what? She's giving me that head nod. I hope it's been good for you too, Miss Deborah.
It has been very good. I love how well you articulate this in such a way that, putting that space there and coming back and really showing that you care.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that really is important. I've been trying to do that a little bit more, but I
yeah.
have a tendency to jump in too quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah. We get excited, we get
Oh, I
excited.
know,
It's
exactly.
true, right? Yeah. Um, there's something about like we're in relationship marketing, and there's a reason why the relationship comes first in that phrase. And so there's often a benefit and a value to giving the relationship room to breathe before the marketing happens, right? And really making sure that we are protecting that first and in every instance. Well, that's how you win the long game, right? Um, there's some folks that are close to me in my life that, they would never do what I did, but they have a respect and they've referred people to me and they send people my way because they know that I'm going to treat them the way that they appreciated being treated. And when you take that pressure off of people, it'll lead you to a never ending, extending circle of influence that you can connect with. So, yeah, I'm glad that you felt that, Miss Deborah. It's okay to be excited. Sometimes we gotta focus it and direct it. Yeah. You can come back the next day, Deborah. You could say, I thought about this all night and I kicked myself because I didn't say something when we were talking the other day. That's a great way to just retain your excitement and let people know how excited you are. And they'll appreciate that too. They'll be
Yeah.
like, I'm glad you didn't spring this on me that day, but this means a lot to me now, today. Um, one of the things that we have to consider, just like psychologically speaking, if someone is sharing something that's emotional to them, they're usually not in a space to receive something that's brand new. And so if they're sharing something that's uncomfortable in their life, that's emotional for them, and they've opened up to you and they're confiding in you in a way, sometimes that's the worst time to try and throw something new at them because really they're just trying to get it. They're trying to get it out. You know what I mean? Um, and so uh, becoming skilled at knowing when to offer something is what will differentiate the casuals from the professionals in this business.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So welcome.
Mary, do you have anything you want to run by Marcus or comment on?
Hi, Marcus. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Um,
Mary.
this has been so awesome. And just
Glad
like
to hear that.
Deborah mentioning that, I mean, you hear something, bam, you just want to fix it right away.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I made that mistake so many times. Um, and I'm happy now that we are having this meeting now so that we could, it's like a refresher for all
Yeah.
of us. And I know that for this whole entire year, just being honest, um, I dropped the ball. I did.
Yeah.
But now is thank you for everything, all the suggestions that you have given us today. Now it's, time to pick the ball back up and then just shoot my shots. So,
That's
um,
right.
what,
That's right.
so, yeah, that's the plan. And thank you
That's
very
right.
much for taking the time to share all this with us. It's very appreciative.
For sure. For sure. It's been great. It's nice to meet you, Mary. I hope I see all of you guys in a couple of weeks. And I hope you'll have some stories to tell me about how it's been going. It's one of those things like this sort of an approach is, it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know, you start to think about things this way. There will be things that you hear on a daily basis where you'll realize, oh my goodness, that people have been saying stuff like this all the time, and I just didn't think about it. I just missed it, you know? I can't wait to hear how that's going to go. You guys are going to bless some people, and it's going to be worth it. So, thank y'all for having me today, Bob. Thanks for the invitation.
Yes, and Marcus, can we see if maybe in 3 weeks we can get that other training? Because we got convention
Of
coming
course.
soon, and I can call you or text or whatever. But is that okay to go ahead and get that set up?
Yeah, we'll find a time to set it up that makes sense.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Well, I got three announcements for you guys. First, let's give Marcus a big hand of gratitude. And I think you guys, we're all comfortable with it. Marcus, isn't it a real caring support? Because we're being a problem solver, we're providing a solution, right? To a
Right.
problem that they themselves expressed.
Correct.
Okay. So rather
Correct.
than us cramming it down their throat.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Rather than pushing it on somebody, right? Uh, it goes a long way when someone has acknowledged that, hey, this is a problem I've brought up multiple times.
Yeah.
And it's important to remind them of that. That's why you say things like, man, something you said the other day just stuck
Okay.
with me. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it.
Wow.
And then
What a
just
great
ask it.
approach. That's a great approach.
The, the most valuable question that I've found is just when you said that, were you joking or were you serious?
Oh my goodness.
You told me you were tired. Now you're saying you're serious. Okay, well, that means, in all degree of likelihood, you would be open to changing the fact that you're tired all the time or that you don't have enough income. Like they are giving you permission through that conversation to share something with them multiple times. And that's big psychologically, whether in figuring out how you can help someone be open to something that they actually want and need, right? So we're just helping people get around their self-defense mechanisms that are constantly up because people do mistreat people all the time. And they even do business in Neolife or other companies and really poorly. And um, so going the extra mile is something that we'll never regret. Never, ever. It's worth it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marcus. It's wonderful. I'll get in touch and then you guys, I'll let you know when Marcus says we can get back with him. And I've got
Okay.
just three quick announcements. Thanks again, Marcus.
I'll see you
And
guys soon, guys.
okay, see you soon.
See you.
Bye. So these three announcements, if you guys could please write this down. Well, first one, Alan Blaine has quite a nice video. They've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and a lot of time refining it and so on. And he said our team is completely welcome to it. So I'm going to text that to you in probably about 5, 6 minutes so you guys can all have that. There's a 3 minute introduction, and I think there's about 11, 12 minutes, I think, on the business and about 7 on product. And he said, we're welcome to use it. It's a recruiting tool. Okay, so that's one thing. Second is, you guys, please write this down because every Monday, this is like a life preserver to us. Louis told me that he has never seen someone stay in the business who wasn't on weekly calls. So this is like a lifeline, and we couldn't have a better team to do this with because Louis said all of our team is welcome. And every Monday, 5:30, their calls will blow your mind. There's no lag, there's no time filling. It's like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Everything is like on product training. They'll have two products, they'll have a positive thought, they'll have wins, they'll have business training. I mean, it's phenomenal. So every Monday, I can't encourage you enough. 5:30, write this down, please. The Zoom is 806-288-873. The password is 418-8591. And I mean, it is a lifeline. It'll make the difference of you surviving or growing or not. And we don't really want to plateau. That's all of us, our tendency is to plateau, and then we start dropping unless we're staying in touch and active in the business. So please do that Mondays, 5:30. Lastly, for those of you who can come on, I got two wonderful links from Louie with Susan Beck. Now we're going to show this at 6:09 Monday, 6:09. That gives us time to get off of Louie's call because sometimes it will go a little bit over. So at 6:09 on Monday, we're going to show on this Zoom ID uh, two of Susan Beck's talks. One is on cognitive health. And you guys, these are things you can invite a zillion people to get on if you want, because it's just quality and integrity nutrition. So one is on cognitive health, and then the other one will be on an upbeat comparison to what else is on the market and what the benefits are. So that's happening this Monday, like next Monday, 6:09 p.m. on this Zoom ID. And I'll send you Alan's video within just a few minutes. And thank you everyone for coming on. We're glad to have every single one of you. So thank you. And you guys have a great weekend. And those that can join us Monday, it will be very inspiring, highly educational. Okay, you guys have a wonderful weekend. And
Thanks,
let's all
Bob. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
Bob.
Bob. Thank
thank
you.
you, Jamie. Thanks,
Thank
Jamie.
you for
Everyone.
thank you for arranging this. We
Oh,
truly
yeah.
it was great.
Hopefully we'll get Marcus back. You guys like
Yeah.
him? That was
Yes, yes.
Oh, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
He was great. Yeah.
and Jamie, isn't his approach nice? It's not cramming it down him. It's just responding to need they already voiced.
Right. Yeah. No, it's an excellent presentation
Yeah.
style.
And Daniel, when will we have the recording? Will we have that today, or will we have it Monday or Tuesday? Of course, it depends when your baby gets here, of course. But
Yeah, I'll try to get that done today. Yeah, as soon as Zoom
okay,
finishes processing it, I can get that uploaded.
awesome. And then I can go. I'll go ahead and send it when Daniel sends it to me. I'll send it to all you guys. And
Great.
hey, Jamie, can you pray for Daniel and Marina's birth? Because it's
I would,
Daniel, isn't it any day now? Pretty much any time?
Yeah, any time. Yeah, we are right there.
Okay. Jamie, would you mind? Would you go ahead and pray? The Lord will just keep them safe and
sure love to do that.
okay.
Thank
So, Lord,
you.
I just want to thank you for Daniel and Marina, Lord, and ask God that this new little one that you're bringing into this world, Lord, I know you've got a special plan for that one. And I just pray, Lord, that everything would go smooth. Lord, that there'd just be a sense of nothing but joy of your working, you're bringing new life, you're just us following your plans and how we fit together. Lord, that's all about you. And we thank you for it, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
And
Amen.
thank you so much.
You betcha, brother. Pray for you all the time.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll be together soon.
All right.
All
Bye,
right. Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us, Vic. It's really good to have you. Bye, everyone.